It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interview. Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Look, Rose, hands up. Yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Yes, it is the Full Court Press. Yes, it's on 106.9 FM, also 1390 AM, streaming on 1069thefan.com and the 1069 The Fan mobile app. Lots of different ways to listen in real time, or you can go and listen on the podcast feed that's on the app and online. And I'm just clicking submit right now. Last hour is now officially saved and on the podcast feed. So there you have it. But yeah, Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen sitting in studio, filling in for Jason Walker. By the way, Jason is feeling well enough. He will be calling a Logan High game tomorrow afternoon.
You probably didn't even give him a choice. Probably said, hey, Jason, you have a game tomorrow. Expect you to be there.
I just asked him, how you feeling? Are you up to calling a game tomorrow?
Yeah, I bet you did. How you feeling? Hey, we'll see you tomorrow night.
It's a very professional request.
Professional.
Actually, it wasn't a request. I was just checking in.
Oh, yeah. How you feeling? You calling the game tomorrow. It's not checking in, Eric. Okay, it's more like, how you feeling? Let him respond. You know, does he need anything? Soup, donuts, something. Then
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C. And then tell him he's going to be working tomorrow. Like, I mean, come on. Give the man some respect. He's been near dead. Last month.
435-339-0321. If you want to chime in and be part of the program, talking about Utah State men's basketball, big win over the weekend. Still not enough respect from the AP, not in the top 25 poll. The big game coming up tomorrow night at Nevada. We'll give a look at the Wolfpack, their season so far. What does their team look like? What type of players should we be aware of? Utah State football getting a lot of players out of the portal, being officially named to the roster. We'll introduce you to them. And then looking at the college football playoff and bowl games on the schedule. Bowl season this year has been, it seems to be more entertaining, more exciting this year than it has been in a very long time for me. And today didn't disappoint again. And so we'll get into more of that, other games that are involving Mountain West teams coming up. But a lot of different things to still get on the docket today, but got a couple of texts that came through last hour that we weren't able to get to. So let's start off with those. 2409 texting in. I'm a Carson Templin fan, but watching the Aggies, I compare them to the 90s Jazz. Really wish they had a good 7-footer. Okay.
90s Jazz.
90s Jazz.
7-footer, like Ostertag?
So you wish they had you wish they had an Ostertag type?
Yeah, that'd be the one. I mean, Mark Eaton? I mean, there's no Mark Eatons out there. Well, maybe there is.
No, there are. No, but look, we talked about this the other day. I think I would prefer.
I like the way it looks right now.
I would prefer activity over just height.
Yeah.
And Carson brings you activity. It's not like he's a shorty out there.
No.
But his hustle and his activity makes up for maybe where he doesn't have the height and the length. Aubin has games where he's fantastic. He has some games where maybe he's a little overwhelmed.
Last game against San Jose.
But I think he has improved after getting pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
In some games where he should have been able to exploit his strength and his size, but he's improved. I think he's learned from that. But Carson's been such a shot in the arm for this team off the bench.
I would agree, 100%.
7994, Ajay, you're back.
Yes.
Of course, that is like watching the refs on Saturday. You know they are required, but then you ask, would we be better off if they weren't there?
Is that you? You're texting in, aren't you? That's got to be you. You're either him or you're 9315.
0366 texting in. Am I the only one who thought the TV commentators Saturday were so polling for San Diego? P.S. Ajay, Don Webb could dunk on you.
Oh, my gosh. This Don guy.
Thank you, 0366. A lot of people could dunk on Ajay.
No, No. I actually can get up. I'll get in your grill. I'm good defensively.
Look, we all saw the tape.
Dawn gives you
Utah State women's basketball put the tape out there.
No.
Showing you running around on the court in practice.
No, don't bring that up.
Just gassed.
Gassed. Water break. Dude, why did it show me air ball in a 3?
Give me a shot of Mountain Dew, stat.
I got a foul too, and they didn't even show that. I looked really good out there defensively.
Why didn't we have that in our great sports moments of 2024?
Yeah, why didn't you, Eric?
On Friday. We should have included that.
Shame on you.
Yeah. 8968 texting in. I see where Florida State players have sued their coach over non-players or a lack of NIL. What's that about? Greener pastures? Yeah, it's messy.
Hi, Cooper Lagar.
Messy.
It's never as good as you think.
Oh, missed this one from 8968 earlier. Back in the old Big West days, Fresno State was always amongst the leaders. There's one year they won the NIT. I wonder what has happened. Yeah, they've had some years where they've had good basketball.
I feel like it's been forever, though.
I mean, Tarkanian was there. Steve Cleveland was there.
Paul George played there, and then Tyler Newbold embarrassed him.
Yeah, they've had some times where they've been a good basketball program, but for the last decade,
it's been porous.
It's just not hit. I mean, their coach this year, I really don't know much about him, so I shouldn't talk too bad about him, but they could have gone out and found a lot of different options and hired like a local high school coach.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I remember when they announced it on social media and everyone was like, wait, who?
Yeah. What are you doing? 5338. Now that the transfer portal is closed for football, I'm a little concerned about the running back position. No Briggs, no Turner, no Faison. Who's going to run the ball next year? Also, I find it interesting that no quarterbacks went into the portal. On a different subject, did any volleyball players enter the portal? If not, volleyball should be looking very strong the next couple of years.
Volleyball's clean. They did not lose anybody in the portal, which is amazing.
Did their window line up with the football window?
I'm not sure if it lined up exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the volleyball window is, but
so far so good.
From what I understand, that team is intact.
Yes, it is.
Regarding the football, we'll get to that. So just pin that thought. We'll get back to it. 2409. If I can speak. 2409. The Jazz needed a better center than Ostertag, who was a waste of a number 1 draft pick. And as hard as Temple plays, it would be nice to see just how good that team would be with a really good big man.
So, and I get what they're saying, but but Eric, you said this numerous times as well today. There's little plays that Carson can make that I don't think a big man can. And he's playing like a big man underneath there. The way he's able to fight for a rebound, tip a ball loose out of a bigger man's hands, and then go and save it, right? And then just a hustle plays down the court defensively and being able to get himself back into transition defense on the other side of the court. I get what 2409 is saying. I really do. I understand now. But I think the way Carson Templin plays as a big man has been much more beneficial for this team, the way it plays defense.
Well, and we've seen basketball in general moving away from the big guy in the post.
Yeah, now it's positionless basketball.
Throw it into the big guy and let him go to work.
Yeah.
We don't really see that very much. There is a place for someone to play well around the rim and like attack the basket. But you've got to be more versatile in today's game. And look, Aubin brings some versatility there. Carson does. Isaac doesn't really play around the rim, but sometimes he will use his size.
Yeah.
I guess that's both Isaacs, Davis and Johnson.
But there's a couple just like, and you said it as well, not in the stat book plays. There's a couple plays where he dove on the floor for a ball, got right after it, and it was a loose ball towards the kiddie corner of the court, and he was able to go and make that play. I don't think a big guy's able to get to it, like where a guard is, can't get to it either. like just little things like that Carson's able to do, I think makes him more valuable than a 7-foot big man on the court right now. Coming into NCAA tournament time, I'm sure it's going to hurt, but.
And hey, how about just the physicality of Utah State generally?
Love it.
And on Saturday, and just what we've seen generally from this team.
Love it.
There have been some times where the Aggies have faced physical teams, and it's been really hard for them.
Beat up.
But this year, this team, the way they play, it's like you can't out-physical this team.
Especially the guards.
Yeah.
Like I think Darius Brown was the lone guard last year who could take physical play and handle it well. Mason didn't. Ian didn't. But I think you're right. This year, Jordy Barnes is a great example. He was getting beat up physically as a freshman. And I want to say beat up. I mean, they were just trying to beat him up physically. I thought he handled it really well, getting the ball across the half-court line because they were step for step with him, getting all the way through. And I thought Jordy did a great job on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many turnovers did he have, by the way, did you say?
Jordy?
Yeah.
3.
It's not bad at all.
Which is not bad.
I'll take that from
when
a freshman all
the
day,
pressure
any day. Yeah.
that they were throwing?
Absolutely. I'll take that from him.
7854. As much as I hate BYU, ESPN's handling of the BYU Colorado Bowl game was a disgrace.
It was.
All it was Colorado this, Colorado that, Deion Sanders this, Deion Sanders that. Yeah, and really, too, one of those the other textures that we had, kind of a similar thing with Fox. That was like the San Diego State broadcast that Utah State happened to be there for.
Really? I thought it was actually really good.
Well, because the second half it was like San Diego State needs to do this. Why aren't they doing that? Instead of, wow, look at the adjustments the Aggies are made.
Oh, okay,
wow, look, the Aggies are making life difficult.
I see what you're saying.
Utah State has taken away the 3-point shot from the Aztecs.
Yeah.
Wow, the Aggies are hitting from outside. Look what Tucker is doing. I mean, they eventually came to talk about Utah State, but the majority of the game was, hey, this San Diego State team, they're really good. Look what they're doing, how good they are defensively, and what a great track record they have.
I do love that when Tucker hit that 3, the play-by-play guys stood up because they were actually behind the bench of the Aggies. Usually it's the SID and Aggie play-by-play guy, but they had Scotty up like another level. They had Jaden Johnson, the SID, at center court of the game, and they had the play-by-play team for the TV broadcast right next to Jared Calhoun and the Aggie bench. And when Tucker hits that 3, you see the play-by-play guy stand up. He's like, oh my gosh. He's like, oh wait, I gotta sit down. So good.
Yeah, but it was frustrating for the Fox broadcast, but it wasn't nearly as bad.
Oh, that Colorado game was horrible.
That BYU Colorado game.
Yeah, I know.
That was so embarrassing.
Well, usually they interview the coach at halftime who's winning, right? Nope, they interview Dion. They usually interview the coach after the end of the game who won the game. Nope, let's interview Dion. And it was right. It was just all about Travis Hunter and that Shador dude. I just couldn't say. It was so good to see BYU whip the crap out of them.
8920 texting in. Templin is willing to dive after a ball. No big man will do that. Love Templin.
Yeah, I'm a Templin guy. Right now, I get it with Gadarazzi and such, but I think what Templin's giving you is so productive right now in so many ways.
9315. Let's see. We've missed a number of his texts here, so I got to figure out where we're at here. I think New Mexico is a roller coaster team. Never know what you're going to get one day there. One their night next that could be low.
Yes.
Why has anyone in the conference doubting Mason? You don't know ball if you don't think he is in the running for Conference Player of the Year. I don't know anyone who is doubting Mason.
I don't think there is. I mean, he just won his fourth Conference Player of the Week award.
Thanks for letting us know you're working on dinner.
Ooh, what's for
Thank
dinner?
you, 9315.
So that's you, Eric.
Not sure if that was meant for us.
You're
but
being invited.
I'm glad. I hope it's delicious. And then, did he ever stop Dora for the great dunk? He said you can dunk on anybody. Did you ever stop Dora for the great dunk? I don't know.
Just read the next text.
And then if Carson is similar to Bean, is what they say, then why is I'm not liking Carson? No one ever said that about Bean. I don't know why you're not liking Carson. I don't know how can you not like Carson?
I love Carson.
And there are a lot of similarities between
Him
Carson and Bean. I think Carson's offensive game is more refined than Bean already.
Yeah.
So, and we saw what Bean eventually became. So what's Carson's trajectory?
Hey,
that's exciting.
You tweeted this out, which I'm glad you did. But the Aggies did not come home. They actually stayed in San Diego yesterday, and they actually went to a really good restaurant for dinner. They went to this incredibly good place in San Diego, and it's like unlimited meat, and you get like prime rib, and it was
What? Wow.
I mean, it's like a reward, right? You beat San Diego State, you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, and then they flew out today. They had practice tonight, and then they have dinner tonight, and then they'll play tomorrow and then fly home tomorrow night after the game.
Yeah, I'd had a number of people asking, what would be their travel situation. And so I reached out to the sports information director over Utah State men's basketball, and he said, yeah, we're going to stay in San Diego.
Yeah.
And then give them a little extra time, and then we'll fly to Reno and prepare for the Wolfpack from there.
Yeah, because usually they'll come home and then they'll go back out, but because it's Christmas break, they
there's no classes that you have to get back to.
They held the kids in, and they said, let's just stay out here, and the players wanted to stay out too. It's San Diego. You get out, you get away from everything, and it's really, really good for team bonding too. So it was a great decision by Coach Calhoun and his staff.
Yeah, really cool. Let's see. Let's look at the next opponent here for Utah State. Although 9-5 quickly is at Dinner Place. Have a nice view of San Diego Lake. So that's why IJ doesn't know much about it.
Sorry, next opponent.
Yeah. So Nevada. Let's look at Nevada real quick. This is a team that is had a pretty decent schedule so far. They're I guess their best win is against VCU. Their best loss, if that's such a thing, they took Vanderbilt to the wire, lost 73-71. That was in mid to late November. But this is also a team that has struggled in conference play. They've got 3 losses. 2 of those are against conference opponents, Colorado State and Wyoming. They lost to Wyoming just this weekend by 3 in Laramie. And this is a team that doesn't want to start off their conference play 0-3 in the hole already, 3 games behind. So they're going to be absolutely motivated. But this is a pretty good team when you look at some of the things that they do well. Pretty strong in their effective field goal percentage, ranked 31st in the country. Field goal percentage, straight up 33rd in the country. A couple other things like 3-point percentage, deadly. They're ranked 3rd in the country in 3-point percentage.
They got 2 guys shooting, over 40% from 3. Kobe Sanders shooting 43, and Nick Davidson shooting 44%. Both those guys, go figure, are your lone 2 guys in double figures right now in the scoring category.
Yeah, so there's some things that they do well. They're ranked 59th in assist to turnover ratio.
Golly, that's good.
But there are some other things that they don't particularly do great. They're not really their strong suits. 325th in fast break points, whereas Utah State's one of the best in the country in fast break. This is also a team that's ranked 315th in 3-point attempts per game. So while they have a high percentage, they don't shoot that many of them. But when they do shoot, they usually make them. So they're much higher percentage there what they do make. But this is a team that has a pretty good offensive efficiency, but they do struggle a bit on defensive efficiency. But when you look at their season so far, this is a team that's had some pretty competitive games.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising that they've lost some.
Yeah, well, they've only lost one of these games by double digits, and I believe that was to Washington State. Am I right? 68-57. That was the lone game they lost by double digits. Everything else they've been really competitive in. Like you said, Vanderbilt in the SEC lost by 2, 73-71. And you're right. I love what you said about the 2 conference losses because now they're desperate. Now you're 100% right. You cannot be 0-3 to start conference play because then you're absolutely behind the 8 ball and very little wiggle room to get out. So they have to. It's almost it's a must win against Utah State on tomorrow night.
This Nevada team beat Washington earlier in the year, though they just lost to Seattle. So Washington's not really all that.
Hi, Danny Sprinkle.
Yeah, he's
getting it right now, isn't he?
Not been a great start for the Huskies. But they also beat Oklahoma State. Not that those are particularly great programs this year.
VCU is pretty good.
Those are Power 5 programs. They beat VCU. So they've got some decent games on their resume. Before their 2 losses to Colorado State and Wyoming, they beat up on Texas Southern 105-73.
Hey, let me ask.
Xavier Dussel, that's a guy that's been around in the Mountain West. He's made his tour around the Mountain West, and now he's with Nevada, so he's familiar with the Aggies.
Well, and speaking of familiarity with the Aggies, Nate Dixon, who was a formerly head associate coach at Utah State under Ryan Odom, now finds himself at Nevada right now. How much of traction do you give it, the fact that Nate Dixon is now at Nevada and knows Mason Faltzliff decently well? Do you think that could provide an advantage for Nevada going into this game at all?
No, I don't think so. Not that much. I just think Mason has. Just look where he is now compared to even last year, and he has improved his shot in the offseason. He is more dynamic in what he can do on the court. So, and it's not just Mason. That's just the thing. That's the strength of this team.
Yeah.
It's so many different guys that chip in and make it happen. That you try to take away one guy, you're just leaving somebody else an opportunity.
Yep.
So, looking at a couple of different things that I shared this earlier on X, a couple different metrics that try to predict games. All of them have this a close one, but in Nevada's favor.
Interesting.
Which is interesting to me too. Nevada is, they've been good at home. They only have one loss at home, and that was Washington State. They lost to Colorado State at home as well. But generally speaking, they play pretty good in Lawler, and we heard all about that last year. The Aggies were great, but they never went to Lawler. So this is an opportunity for Utah State to send a message to Reno that, the Aggies are good. They have been good, and they'll continue to be good. They can still win here.
There too.
Yes. 435-339-0321 if you want to chime in. Looking at this Utah State game at Nevada tomorrow. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off.
And it's not on national television, is it? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Go figure.
So how do we find the game, actually?
So that'll probably be on the Mountain West Network.
I think you're right.
And I'm going to warn you right now, that guy is a homer. You're going to get the homer call of like no other. So I would just turn in to, is it 610 KV and you will have the broadcast?
Yeah. Yep.
Mute the computer or mute your TV or whatever it is and listen to 610 AM KV. You get the pregame with Stockton and JD. You get the broadcast in its entirety, and you get postgame with Stockton and JD. Don't leave the radio dial. If you don't want to break your TV, do not listen to that broadcast because I promise you, swear to life, you'll hate it.
Yeah, turn it up on your, if you have the app, KVNU app, just listen to it there.
There you go, driving around.
Yeah.
Pick it up, listen to it.
Absolutely. So, no national broadcast here, so you have to find it through the Mountain West Network, which is surprising. There aren't any Mountain West games that have a national broadcast attached to them on New Year's Eve. But 8 o'clock tip, so that means 7 o'clock KVNU game day coverage will begin with JD and Stockton. And spend your New Year's Eve with the Utah State Aggies as they take on Nevada, which is, look, that's a tough place to play. They have a good fan base.
Yep.
They, to their credit, that's a team that has had moments where they've had NCAA tournament runs.
100%.
And they love their basketball there. So that's a good basketball tradition at Nevada. So can't overlook up Nevada, even though a lot of the statistical predictions have the Wolfpack winning this one by a very narrow margin, which just goes to show more reasons why Utah State is putting more chips on their shoulder, more disrespect. Just keep sending it their way. They respond well to that, and a chance to get another great win on the road if they can tomorrow night. All right, got to take another time out here in the Full Court Press. Still more to get to. Let's talk some football.
Yeah.
Utah State football with a bunch of announcements on their social media feeds, announcing players that are committing to Utah State out of the portal. Now that the portal is closed, players are starting to commit and announce where they're headed. So a number of players that they're announcing today will introduce you to who they are and answer some of the questions that were posed earlier on the text line about certain positions. That's next here on the Full Court Press.
Les Olson IT is your source for top quality technology. We carry the latest desktop and laptop PCs in stock, configured to your specific needs, and backed by our award-winning support team. And if your business demands high-performance hardware, we offer custom-built computers that can tackle any task. We also offer great computer accessories like monitors, keyboards, speakers, Fujitsu document scanners, and more. Get a quote today. Les Olson IT.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. I'd like to invite you to learn more about us. Since 1997, we've been Utah's premier one-stop shop for home medical equipment. What sets us apart at Alpine Home Medical is the superior level of customer service. We provide home oxygen, CPAPs, wheelchairs, scooters, breast pumps, and so much more. Come on down and get to know us.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit alpinehomemedical.com.
Ski season is coming, which means Season Ski Rentals. This is Mark at the Sportsman, where we have over 20 years of season ski rental experience. We rent to kids and adults. Come in to get season ski rentals for your entire family. We like to wait a little later in the fall because there is a chance your kids might grow out of their boots by the time ski season actually rolls around. Starting at $69.99, you will get the right gear for your kids to ski this year at the Sportsman on Main Street in downtown Logan, with tons of parking in the back.
Happy holidays from the entire team at Adams Wealth Advisors. As we celebrate the joy of this season, it's also time to plan for a financially sound future. Wondering about tax strategies or required investment distributions? Adams Wealth Advisors has the answers. The Adams Wealth team is here to guide you through any complexities and ensure a prosperous new year. Happy holidays from Adams Wealth Advisors, where achieving your financial goals is their mission. Call today to schedule an appointment, 752-1702, or search Adams Wealth Advisors online.
They never could play it, but they sure can talk about it. Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker on the Full Court Press.
Welcome back to Full Court Press. So I guess we just have a minute here to go.
You just didn't want to be on air with me anymore.
Well, our calendar says there's a hockey broadcast at 6, but I was just informed the pregame starts at 5:30. So we got to be out at 5:29. So, yeah, football editions, a bunch of guys.
Hey, predictions for tomorrow. What do you think?
Well,
sorry, go through.
I'm going to say Aggies by 3. I think it'll be close.
Okay, great.
But there's a question about running back. Miles Davis, transfer from BYU. Good size.
Love that kid.
I think that's going to help out. A couple of defensive linemen, a couple of specialists, a couple of outside linebackers added to the mix for Utah State football. So the roster's coming together.
Good.
For the Aggies. And still more to come, but good sign today of some of the players that they added. Short show, I guess, is going to do it for us. See you, everybody.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. Medicare can seem complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Let us help. We'll answer all your questions and get you specific information that fits your needs. Medicare is not one size fits all. We'll help you find the right coverage for you. Call 752-9493. You can ignore the TV and the junk mail. We'll get you the exact information you need. We will help you access the benefits that are important to you. Call LSS Insurance at 752-9493.
As the year comes to a close, we at Aegis Healthcare want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude.
To our incredible staff, thank you for your dedication, hard work, and passion. You make everything we do possible.
To our wonderful community, thank you for your trust and support. You're the reason we continue to grow and thrive.
This holiday season, we wish you and your loved ones joy, peace, and warmth. Here's to cherished moments in a bright new year ahead.
Happy holidays from all of us at Aegis Healthcare. We look forward to serving you in the year to come.
It's never too cold or